Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Friendly Friday. I'm Garen Green. Today I have with me Ezra. We're going to be talking about a lot of really awesome things. How are you doing today, Ezra?
Pretty good, you?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's
I'm
good.
very thankful to have you on. I know our schedules have kind of bonked around a little bit, but I'm glad to get an opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've been actually looking for more trans mass representation on the show. Not that
Mhm.
there's anything wrong with talking to trans femmes, that's fine, but
Of course.
I just want to make sure that, I get the whole spectrum out there. So I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I would like to talk to you a little bit to start off with, people who might not know you, who you are, what you do, what your experience was like kind of being trans, stuff like that.
For sure. Well, I'm Ezra, he, him, as you can see right here. Yeah. Um, I'm a trans guy. I've had I'm about a year or so on T. I'm on the track to getting top surgery. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Did you have any particular questions about the
Sure,
trans
yeah.
mass experience?
Let's dive into it a little bit. So, to start off with, I suppose one of the big memes in the trans femme community is that estrogen makes your voice higher. That's not
Oh
true.
yeah,
That's not true at
yeah,
all.
it's
But it is true for testosterone
yeah.
to an
Testosterone
extent,
does make
right?
your voice
Yeah.
deeper. Like
S- Go ahead. Sorry, go
uh
ahead.
oh like my voice is definitely significantly deeper than it used to be. Like I am low key trying to push it down a little today, but uh um but yeah, it's definitely significantly deeper than it used to be.
Hmm.
Which definitely that's been like a huge part of gender euphoria for me because I, I I joke about this with Ash all the time about how I used to be so quiet and you would usually have to tell me to speak up and tell you things,
Hmm.
and now you can't get me to shut the fuck up just because I love my voice now.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I feel it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you should certainly shouldn't feel self conscious about it because I'm definitely trying to push my voice up
it's
tonight.
all good.
So
It's all
it,
good.
yeah, it's all part of the experience, right? But
Hmm.
yeah. So in the last year, you've seen your voice deepen significantly, and I imagine that's going to get a little bit deeper as time goes on. Um,
Yeah,
y-
definitely.
you did say it gave you a little bit of euphoria. Is that right?
Hmm.
Yeah, to the point where now you just love to talk.
Yeah, I just love to talk.
I love it.
I'll talk for hours. Like especially God, especially when I smoke weed, I am the biggest
Oh
chatterbox,
God, yeah.
especially.
Oh yeah, and yeah, there's some other substances that I get really talkative on myself. Like if I have a lot to drink, I just like
Fair enough.
I just want to talk your ear off constantly. But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
no, I get that. I think it would
Hmm.
be really nice to see when Ash starts streaming, you come on and both of you talk about certain issues and stuff. Um,
Yeah, as soon as Ash starts streaming, I was definitely gonna come on her stream a couple times. Hell yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want to see more trans content creators. Oh God, it makes me
Absolutely.
so happy.
Hmm.
But yeah, so what kind of made you realize that you were trans? You want to dive into a little bit about your history with, your coming to realize?
For sure. It's kind of a bit of a long story.
Yeah, we got time.
We got time.
That's the whole point. Yeah, let's go.
Exactly. Um, so trigger warning, eating disorder. What in about 2016, about when I started estrogen puberty, I was just like, hey, this feels really wrong. I should do something about it. And then I did the wrong thing about it. Um, Shortly after recovering, I realized I'm just like, hey, maybe I'm just trans. So, uh, I came out to a couple people, mostly friends and family and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm non. At the time, I was like, yeah, I'm non-binary. I want to go by they them pronouns and a different name that I chose. Um, and some people were accepting, other people were just like, no, but you're a girl, and I'm just like, no, I don't like that. It actually ended up to the point that I pushed myself into the closet again for another 2 years. So in about 2019, I started like thinking about it again and like questioning again. There was one night in particular I remember I washed off all my makeup, and at the time I wore like super hyper feminine makeup. Uh, so I like washed all that off, tucked my super long hair into like a toque, and wore like my most masculine clothes I could find in my closet that I had at the time. And I looked in the mirror and I started crying. And I was just like, "Oh, yeah, I think I'm trans." But of course, I didn't come out at that point. I like kind of still kept it like under the rug for a bit. Like um I think actually the next day I felt like super sad that I actually had to go out and present as female. Um, but yeah, I kind of kept it under the rug for another couple months. Then I went to university, and I was like I told you beforehand. I was in a theater program where everybody was queer. um, so like I started casually going by they them, and but I like experimented with a couple of names until I finally settled on Ezra, which I think is the best one. Suits me the best. um but yeah, then whole pandemic hit. I came out to Ashley and was just like, "Hey, I'm trans." At the time, non-binary, and then it sort of just went from like non-binary and just slowly shifted towards just being a trans guy. I mean, I'm a non-binary trans guy, but like
Mhm.
still, I'm mostly just a trans guy.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you have a supportive network there
Yeah,
in your friends
definitely.
and community.
Definitely everyone's a lot more supportive now. Like, at least one of my parents actually believes me. I won't dive too far into that, but uh, but yeah, everyone around me that I'm ever associated with is super supportive. So it's pretty great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I see a lot of people's interactions on Twitter and stuff, and it really warms my heart to see like
Mm.
just like I don't know, really candid photos. Like I saw the photo that was posted of you all building the puzzle, was it?
Oh yeah, the puzzle,
Yeah,
the pickle
just like
puzzle.
it's just so something about it just like makes my heart grow like three sizes, you know. I just love
Oh yeah.
seeing queer people and trans people being happy together. So that's
It's very
awesome.
wholesome.
I think so. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
No problem.
Do you have any other like non-trans like hobbies or interests or anything you might be interested in?
Well, I really like to draw. I'm sure you've probably seen my Twitter. I post some of my drawings sometimes. Um, God, I've been drawing since I could hold a pen. Um, so I've gotten pretty good at it. I'll fill a sketchbook in like a couple months.
Nice. Yeah, I have seen
Yeah,
quite a few of your drawings actually. I really like the art style. It reminds me a
thanks.
lot of gosh, I really don't a lot of the like a lot of the older stuff that I used to see on like Newgrounds and stuff. Um
Newgrounds?
yeah, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it was basically like a flash animation site where you could
Oh,
go on.
cool.
This was like in the early days of the internet. And this was like before YouTube and before all of that stuff. So,
Oh, that's way before my time then.
oh, okay, gotcha. Well, sorry, my boomer's showing for a minute, but
All good.
yeah, so it was flash animation. So what people would do is back in the day, you know, you had Shockwave and Flash, and people would use these programs to like draw and animate and make some sort of film, right?
Mhm.
Um, and they would post them on Newgrounds, and you would get all kinds of like really interesting stuff. Like I think there was a Dragon Ball Z parody that was set to some corn song or something like that that
Oh,
got really
cool.
popular. There were a lot of like there were also the sex ones that it was like a sex flash game where you click the buttons and you take the clothes off or I it was so it was a whole wide there was like ones where it's like really raunchy Mario or something where he's pooping in one of
Orange
the, yeah,
Mario.
I don't know. It was pretty much
Jeez.
anything that you could like possibly think of that kids would make fun of. People did flash animations of it and stuck it up on Newgrounds. And
Oh.
there were a couple of them that were really popular that ended up getting uploaded to YouTube later,
Mhm.
called Salad Fingers. Have you ever seen
I
that?
remember salad fingers.
Oh God.
Oh God.
A lot of your art style reminds me of the kind of art style that was put into like Salad Fingers, and
Oh, cool.
I really like that because it just brings me back to that kind of like nostalgic point in my life where I was a kid looking at some of these flash animations and stuff on Newgrounds.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course. I always encourage people to post more of their work. I always want to see, people
Oh yeah, I
share
love
and yeah.
love posting my art.
So then, we are kind of just a little bit into it, and we've already got through most of the stuff I wanted to talk to you about. Very efficient.
Very efficient indeed.
Did you just kind of want to chill and shoot the shit for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So, what else have you been into? Or do you play any video games or anything like that?
I don't really play video games. I am god awful at controls. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know. I smoke a lot of weed. I work at a weed store,
Hey.
so that's kind of, I mean, two things that are kind of together. Big part of my life.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well, so that's like that would be where a place that you would go to purchase weed, right?
yeah. Place that you go to purchase weed like
Gotcha.
legally in Canada.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You must see the whole gamut of customers then. Pretty much everybody's a weed smoker, whether they say it or not, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see like all sorts of people.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I'm also located in like the biggest mall in Canada too. And
Well,
fun fact, we're the biggest weed store in all of Canada as well. So it's kind of a
based.
novelty thing. I get people like asking me about like, oh, what's this? How? Why is this space so big? I'm just like, it's mostly novelty, but
Yeah.
like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a really fun job.
Nice. Well, it's good to have a job that you really enjoy. I know I kind of spoke to you a little bit about this, but my partner works at a glass shop and she's had
Oh,
like
nice.
a dozen or so jobs in her life, and this is like one of the first ones that she actually really enjoys. So it's
Hmm.
nice getting to like watch her come home and just like go on and on and on about all the things she's excited about at work. Like some of the more menial things, like we got this new like glass set in or something, and it's really cool. And I
Oh,
set up a
nice.
display and stuff. Like it's really cool seeing her gush over this stuff because she's just really happy about what she does, and it shows.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I feel that. Like, I I've had about got about 6 or 7 jobs now, and this one is like by far the best one. Mind you, a couple of the jobs before it definitely made that contrast pretty big.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, God, I worked at this one crystal shop. Yeah, the crystal shop. Sorry, Chloe's in the background.
the crystal
Um,
shop.
uh, you think that a crystal shop would be like a really accepting place, but I actually faced a lot of transphobia in that job, like direct transphobia,
Yeah.
and I actually walked out because of it.
Oh, really? If
Yeah,
you
only
don't
job I've
mind,
ever done.
do you want to go into it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's fucking roast them. Let's do it. Fuck these
Fuck yeah.
people.
I roast this company like all the time like at work or like with Ash and everyone because they fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this place, I only worked there a total of 21 days.
Hmm.
Um, and I have horror stories from every day, but the worst one was probably my last day.
Hmm.
So like, I show up and I'm wearing my they them pronoun pin because they them was the pronouns I went by at the time.
Hmm.
And after like I'd gotten all my morning stuff done, she was just like, hey, you should know, she basically dress coded me for wearing my pronoun pin. She's just like, yeah, we don't show our display our beliefs at work. And I'm just like,
Beliefs?
first off, not a belief, it's just a pronoun. What the fuck? Then we get a delivery, so like we have to continue the conversation later.
Hmm.
Um, but later when we do continue the conversation, she starts like uh going off about how like God, I don't exactly remember most of it, but
Mm-hmm.
like I did end up like almost like crying in front of her because she was like really invalidating my identity and
Mm-hmm.
like uh all sorts of stuff. So I excuse myself. I like go into the bathroom for a couple minutes. I ponder for about 5 minutes, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just like, is it worth it to keep this job? And then I script what I'm saying because I decided like, yeah, I'm probably gonna quit like right now. Um, so I like walk up to her and I tell her, you have a choice. You can either respect my pronouns or not have me as an employee. And she said, fine, leave. So I left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I literally like I sat there like kind of having like a bit of a meltdown in my car for like 15 minutes. But then I happened to have a whole bunch of resumes in in my car, so I
Mm-hmm.
just like went around after I'd calmed down, like handing in resumes everywhere on in like the area.
Uh-huh.
And I actually got a free coffee out of it because
Oh,
there was this
hey.
one cafe that I was a regular at, and they saw that like my eyes were all puffy, and they're just like, "Oh, this one's on the house." And I'm just like,
Oh,
"Thank you, I needed that."
that's sweet. Oh,
Yeah,
I like it when that happens.
yeah, me too.
But no, no, it's that's awful to hear. I'm sorry that you had to face that. Um,
I'm in a much better place now, so
yeah, all the better
both
for
career
you.
wise and in my life. So
Yeah, good, good. Well, that's
yeah,
awesome. Um, what about, have you lived in Canada all of your life?
yep. Born and raised.
Nice. How long
Yeah.
have you known Ash and Chloe and everybody?
Well, I only just met Chloe. Like, she only just moved in I believe July.
Hmm.
So I've known her about 5 months, plus like a little bit of casual conversation in Twitter beforehand.
Sure.
Bash, I've known since my grade 12 year. No, my grade 11 year, but we only really started getting to be friends in my grade 12 year,
Mm.
which was like 2018, 2019.
Hmm.
We were in the same band class, and we had like the same friend group and stuff. So we started dating like January of 2019. So it's almost 3 years now, which is very
Nice.
exciting.
That is exciting. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, I'm getting all mushy again. Sorry.
Aw. It's all good. I'm all mushy too.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it seems like y'all have a really good vibe, so it's really chill.
Mhm.
I know that personally, my partner and I are looking for a new roommate. I think we have someone in mind, another trans person coming in to be living with us. So that'll be really
Nice.
exciting. Yeah, make a
Another trans commune.
oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Is we're just gonna set up like trans communes across the United States and have like giant Twitter networks and shit. And that's yeah, that's what we'll do.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Well, so I don't know how much you know about me, but I live in Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And one of the cool things here in Colorado is the Tenacious Unicorn Ranch. Have you heard of them?
I think I've heard of them. I just don't know a lot about them.
Yeah, so they are a trans haven here in one of the most conservative spots in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
They have a huge multi-acre farm where they raise alpacas and basically just, help trans people that need help.
I
And
love that.
yeah, no, they're awesome. I have plans to go out and visit sometime. Um, it was COVID's really made things hard because we first moved here like right before all the lockdown started.
Hmm.
So we didn't really get a chance to see much of the the new state that we're living in. Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
and we don't really want to go out when, stuff's still going on and people are still dying and stuff. So, um,
Reasonable.
yeah. But when we get to a point where we feel comfortable, we'll probably go out and visit. But I did hear that at some point in the last year they had some people with weapons come and try to attack the ranch.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Well, as response, they decided to arm themselves. So now there are a armed trans commune in in Colorado. So I'm
Hey, it
very
works.
excited about that. Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of drawing a blank here almost.
it's all good.
Um Anything else on your mind today? Anything else? Any like popular discourse or anything you want to weigh in on?
Not really. I don't really weigh in on most discourse. I have pretty significant brain fog just because of my disabilities, so I don't have the brain function to understand it yet, let alone participate in it.
Hmm.
So like, I tend to just keep away from the drama.
Smart. You're a
Yeah,
smart man. Yeah,
hell
that
yeah.
that is a good decision. I've been trying to stay away from it actually. I had the opposite habit of just getting into it too much. And so here in the last few months, I've just been trying to like,
Dial it back a bit.
let's not. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, but well, cool. Let's. Or would you feel comfortable talking about your disabilities?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So, what kind of disabilities do you have? And how do they impact your day to day?
It's a bit of a list.
Mm-hmm.
Diagnosed, I have fibromyalgia, Raynaud's syndrome, and a hypermobility spectrum disorder. But it's suspected that hypermobility is actually Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I'm also suspected to have POTS and myalgic encephalomyelitis slash chronic fatigue syndrome. It's a couple.
That last one was a mouthful. Not the chronic.
myalgic, en-
Yeah, that one.
yeah,
That
the
one.
myalgic encephalomyelitis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have
it's
to
a bit of a
practice that?
mouthful. Yeah, I actually had to practice that one a lot before I figured out how to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Ooh, goodness. I don't know why they make them
Yeah,
so fucking hard. It's just make it easy.
I
Make
know,
it like
right?
I got tummy too hurt much disease or something
Tummy
like
tummy hurt too much disorder.
that. Yeah, I know, right?
Joints
I'm
crack out of place disorder.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to make light of your disabilities or anything.
No, go for it. I make light of it all the time. I encourage it.
Um, so how does that mean? What does that look like for you? When you wake up on a bad day, what can you expect to deal with?
On a bad day, I deal with quite a bit of pain, quite a bit of fatigue. On bad days, I'm like barely able to get out of bed. Um, I'm even on good days, I'm pretty reliant on mobility aids. Like I use my cane Fish at work. I named him Fish. Uh, I have my rollator Rory. I named all of them.
Oh, that's so
I,
cute.
yeah, but my rollator. I use Rory a lot around the house. They're really helpful, which is good. But yeah, I kind of tracked away from what the original point.
Oh, that's okay. No, just
Yeah,
basically, what that gives me big Jinx vibes. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Arcane, but like
I have not.
Jinx is a character in League of Legends that like names all of her weapons and gives names to all her toys and stuff. That's just like
I love that.
I love it too. I used to
Yeah,
like
I
if I was in bed and I had a whole bunch of stuffed animals and I felt like one was face down and couldn't breathe, I would have to turn it face up before I could go to bed. Like
same,
deeply empathetic, I guess. I feel you. Okay.
same. I'm also autistic, so like I have that. I'm like hyper empathy.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
feel you. Yeah. Well, so I think originally I wanted to know what does it look like for you on a bad day, and how do you manage that? How do you deal with that?
Well, I take a couple of like prescribed medications that are supposed to help. I take a couple of painkillers just to like help ease the pain a little bit, just so I
Hmm.
can get through the day. If I don't work, usually I'll just like stay in bed, scroll through Twitter,
Hmm.
try to sleep it off. If I do have work, I'll either call in if it's like too much, which my work is pretty accommodating. So as long as I'm
Hmm.
like calling in early enough, they're just like, yeah, it's fine. You stay home, feel better. Um, but like if I do have to go to work, I'll like keep it slow. Um,
Yeah.
try to get as much accommodation as I can. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do you have any like government programs in Canada that would be similar to something like what we have in the States where you get like a certification from your doctor saying that you have a certain set of disabilities or whatever that you need such and such accommodation and they have to give you that? Do you have something like that there?
Yeah, we have a couple programs for that. We're working on getting me on disability right now, just because I've been working too much for my body to be able to handle. So
Yeah.
we're trying to figure that out so that I can stay home and rest more often.
Smart. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be good.
yeah.
Well, um, I'm sorry. I think that's pretty much all that I could imagine. Was
No,
there
it's all
anything
good.
else?
Not really that I can think of.
Okay. Well, if you want to end it here, I'm comfortable with that.
For sure.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming out to another Friendly Friday. Thank you, Ezra, for joining us.
No
Um,
problem. Thanks for having me.
of course. Would you like to shout out anything before you go?
Um, Not really. No, I can't really think of anything.
You want to shout out your Twitter or anything?
Sure, Ezra Graham on Twitter. That's me.
Awesome. I'll leave a link in the description too. But
Thank you. Thank you.
of course. Well, thank you for coming out, and again, thank you all for joining us. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Take care.